Guillermo Del Toro, known for his amazing use of color, lighting, giant monsters, and hatred for Konami, released Pan's Labyrinth in 2006, following a Spanish girl named Ophelia, who travels through a fantasy world filled with beautiful and grotesque monsters. The film in its entirety is amazingly well color coordinated with the sole purpose of distinguishing two worlds. The world where Ophelia lives in, just boring old Spain, and the fantasy she explores through. But Jovan, you may ask, how do we know for sure Ophelia is traveling to a different world, or reality, or dimension, whatever the freaking place she goes through? Well, Guillermo happens to be a genius and shows the audience with the use of color. We as the audience see it, for example, in the Pale Man scene. The reality where Ophelia lives in, we see it as a dark blue and almost black reality, making us, the audience, feel gloomy and down because Spain is under military dictatorship, and I think if you were in a dictatorship, you will be sad too. But when Ophelia enters the world of the fantasy land, or in this case where the Pale Man dwells in, the color scheme is completely different. We see the world as a very vibrant orange color. It makes us feel happy. It makes us feel as though we're in a fantasy. Well, despite the murals of a creature, aka the Pale Man, eating kids alive. So Ophelia is looking for some knife for some reason, and she finds a knife, and Ophelia wants to eat the fruit that's on the table where the Pale Man is sitting, I guess to celebrate, I don't know. And the fairies who helped her find the knife are like, yeah, don't do that. And she's a little girl with very little knowledge of the world she's in, so she ignores them anyways and eats it, which awakens the Pale Man, who eats children, who eats his foods apparently. I don't know, and has a very sick sneaker collection. Wow, it puts a hypebeast to shame, really, and starts chasing her through his own dwelling. But Ophelia escapes for the sake of the story. And when she does, it goes back to the normal world where she lives in. It's dark blue. It's back to a dark blue color, which differentiates between the normal world where it's under dictatorship and the fantasy land that the Pale Man lives in. Her world is sad and gloomy and dark, and the Pale Man lives in a fantasy where I guess everything is peaches and roses for him, despite he eats kids alive, but it's orange. And it makes us, the audience, when we see it, not feel sad but happy. It makes us feel joy, and it reminds us of November